Welcome back to Echoed Stories. Get comfortable, it's story time, let's dive in, because this is going to be a long, infuriating ride. I'm currently sitting in a hotel room about 10 miles from my childhood home, shaking with enough adrenaline to power a small city. I haven't slept in 24 hours. My grandmother left me her paid-off house. My parents decided my loser brother needed it more, forged my signature on a deed transfer, and moved him in while I was working out of state. I just found out, and war has been declared. Here is the context. My grandma was the only person in this gene pool with a spine. She saw through my brother Kyle's charm 20 years ago. Kyle is the golden child. In reality, Kyle is a vacuum cleaner for money. He has failed at being a DJ, a drop shipper, and a crypto guru. When Grandma passed away 6 months ago, it devastated me. Her will was crystal clear. My dad got her stocks. Kyle got $5,000. I got the house. It's a beautiful Victorian, easily worth $650,000. I live 3 states away, so I entrusted the keys to my dad. Major red flag, I know. For months, every time I asked about the house, I got gaslit. Don't waste your money flying back, they said. We're handling it. Last week, my probate attorney called me. He found out the property title had already been transferred via a quitclaim deed 2 months ago. My blood ran cold. I looked at the document. My signature was a messy, shaky scrawl, notarized by a woman I've never met, transferred to Kyle for the sum of $1. I didn't call my parents. I caught the first red-eye flight back. I drove straight to the house. As I turned onto the street, my stomach dropped. My grandma's pristine rose bushes, gone, ripped out. In their place was a dirt patch and Kyle's rusted-out Jeep parked on the lawn. I walked inside. The house smelled like stale vape smoke and wet dog. The walls were half-painted a garish electric blue. Kyle was on the couch in his underwear playing Call of Duty. "Sup, bro," he said. "Could have knocked." Then my parents walked in. They tried to justify it. "Kyle needs a win," my mom said. "He needs stability. You have a career. You have everything. Why are you so greedy?" "I didn't sign that deed," I said. "That's forgery. That's a felony." Kyle stood up, trying to look intimidating. "You really going to call the cops on your own family, bro, over a house? My name is on the deed. Get out. This is my property now. Castle doctrine, bitch." My dad got in my face. "If you try to fight this, you will destroy this family." I pulled out my phone, took photos of the damage, and said, "You have 48 hours to vacate, or I burn your lives to the ground." That was 6 hours ago. Since then, I have met with my lawyer. Here is why they are absolutely screwed. The forgery is laughably bad. They didn't even spell my middle name right. The notary, we looked her up. She's my mom's best friend from church. We called her and she admitted on a recorded line that she stamped it just to help out. That is notary fraud, but here is the cherry on top, mortgage fraud. I found out Kyle didn't just want to live there. He took out a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, against the house 2 days after the deed was recorded. He pulled out $100,000. Because the deed was in his name, the bank gave him the loan. This isn't just a civil dispute anymore. This is grand larceny, forgery, notary fraud, and bank fraud. My lawyer gave me 2 options. Option A, civil court. It takes months. Or option B, the nuclear option. We go to the district attorney. We inform the bank. This triggers a federal investigation. Kyle goes to prison. Mom and dad get charged as accomplices. I am choosing option B. My phone is blowing up with texts from family calling me a monster. My dad texted me, "Stop bluffing. You won't send your brother to jail. See you at Thanksgiving." He thinks this is a game. He thinks everything goes back to normal if he just bullies me enough. But I'm meeting the detective at 8:00 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not just getting my house back. I'm taking everything. It has been 14 days since my last update, 14 days of absolute hell. The morning after my first post, I handed over everything to Detective Miller. The recorded call, the forensic analysis, the bank statements. When he saw the bank fraud, his eyebrows shot up. "This is federal," he said. "They paid a visit to the house." I watched from down the street. 2 squad cars pulled up. Kyle opened the door. There was shouting. Then Kyle took a swing, an actual drunken swing, at a uniformed police officer. Within seconds, my golden child brother was face down on the porch, cuffed. My mom ran out screaming, "My baby, don't touch him, he has anxiety." When the officers didn't stop, she faked a heart attack on the lawn. It was an Oscar-worthy performance. But they arrested Kyle for assault and resisting arrest. They didn't book my parents immediately, but the investigation was open. Kyle made bail the next day because my parents drained their retirement savings to get him out. I finally got the keys back to the house. It was destroyed. Cat urine, rotting food, holes in the drywall. But the worst part, they had destroyed my grandmother's personal effects. Letters, photos, diaries, shredded. They hated that she loved me, so they tried to delete her existence. But while cleaning the wreckage, I found a box they missed. Inside was a ledger, and the world stopped turning. My parents claimed they stole the house to give Kyle a fresh start. That was a lie. The ledger revealed that my parents have been systematically looting a trust fund my grandfather set up for Kyle's children. They drained the kids' college fund. $150,000. Gone. Spent on Kyle's bail, Kyle's truck, and trips to Vegas. The $100,000 loan on my house wasn't for a business. It was to pay back the trust fund before anyone found out they stole it. They were trying to plug a $150,000 hole of embezzlement with a mortgage fraud scheme, and Kyle knew. I found texts where he was blackmailing them. "Get me the house or I tell the kids you stole their money." I called the detective immediately. It has been 3 months. There was no dramatic jury trial. Just a quiet, brutal dismantling of my family. The district attorney brought heavy charges. Conspiracy, bank fraud, embezzlement. They were all arrested. Here is the part that will stick with me forever. My parents destroyed their reputation and finances to protect Kyle. They committed felonies for him. And how did Kyle repay them? He rolled on them immediately. Within 48 hours of being in custody, Kyle offered to testify that the entire scheme was our parents' idea. He claimed he was a victim of their control. When my parents saw Kyle's statement, their united front collapsed. My mom had a breakdown. My dad just stopped speaking. The son they sacrificed everything for sold them out. Last Tuesday was the sentencing. The notary lost her license and was fined. My parents pled guilty to embezzlement and forgery. They got 3 years in state prison. They were ordered to pay restitution, which means their own house is being sold and their retirement accounts drained. They will leave prison homeless and destitute. And Kyle, the judge wasn't buying his poor me act, especially with the assault on the police officer. He got 7 years. Seeing them in orange jumpsuits was surreal. My mom mouthed, "I'm sorry." I just looked away, but Kyle, as the bailiffs let him out, he shouted at me, "You happy now? You took everything. Hope you choke on it." That was the last time I will ever see my brother. It has been 6 months. Victorian house is gone. I sold it to a young couple who promised to replant the rose bushes. I took the profits, about $500,000, and put it into an irrevocable trust for my nieces and nephews. I broke the cycle. My parents are serving their time. My mom sent me a letter from prison last week. It wasn't an apology. It was 4 pages of gaslighting. She wrote, "We forgive you, Op. We pray you find it in your heart to help us when we get out." They forgive me. For holding them accountable. I didn't write back. I shredded the letter and used it to line my cat's litter box. Poetic justice. Am I happy? Yes, it's not a giddy happiness. It's the quiet happiness of safety. My credit is frozen. My phone doesn't ring with emergencies I didn't create. My therapist told me, "You didn't destroy your family, you just stopped carrying the wreckage." The house is sold. The money is safe. The cycle is broken. I'm going to go for a run on the beach now, because I can. Goodbye, Reddit.